Kia ora, how's it going? I'm Charlotte Squire and I am here in beautiful East Tākaka, and I just had the privilege of interviewing the amazing Paula Miles about what she got up to at the tender age of 23.
Hi, here we go. So I'm Paula Miles. I was born Paula Barnett and from East Tākaka. I come from a long line of Tākaka residents. Family been here for generation after generation. And Charlotte asked me what I was doing when I was 23. So that's brought up some big memories. When I was 23, my boyfriend and I moved to Taupo. He was working in the deer recovery industry as a pilot, helicopter pilot. We moved there for financial reasons, basically, and it was a really wild, crazy time in that industry. It had huge risk. I worked in a motel restaurant because I'd been working here in Golden Bay in the Wholemeal Cafe. So when we moved up there, it was easy for me to get a job in the cooking industry, even though I'd trained as a textile artist. I decided I quite liked the food industry. It was something that I could take with me when we travelled. So my boyfriend, who went on to become my husband and father of my kids, ex-husband now, he and I had a particularly tough weekend when the risks outweighed the pleasure of living up there. So we talked about what we could do next. He rang a friend and got offered a job in Papua New Guinea, which meant that we could leave Taupo. We came back to Golden Bay for a while he was putting his immigration stuff and was getting all that ready, so that then we moved to Nelson, when it was great because we were closer to family. My family's huge and tight. We've got a close relationship with a lot of them. So during that time when we moved back, we lost some family members, which was really shocking. They were young. My auntie was only 47, and later in the year my cousin died at 16. It had a huge impact on us. We had a lot going on family-wise. Keith headed off to start work in Papua New Guinea. I started cooking at a restaurant in Nelson, which was a really interesting job and incredibly hard work. I worked for a guy called Des Wilson, who ran a nice posh restaurant in Collingwood Street called 144. It was a lot of laughs, but man, we worked some long hours, produced some beautiful food. But it was a crazy time. So as I was in Nelson, living in our house and working hard in a restaurant, my boyfriend was in Papua New Guinea flying helicopters, and we were doing backwards and forwards to see each other. He was doing 6 weeks on and 3 weeks off. And then that began a long career working in the food industry, with some trips and time spent living up in Papua New Guinea. It was the beginning of a long relationship with that country. We stayed there until I was pregnant with our first child years later. So yeah, that was 23. It was crazy. It was all about family and building friendships, going to music festivals and big dinners. Yeah, just learning what you wanted to do in life and where you wanted to be, and muddling along, making a living, having fun doing it. Lots of high heels and big hair and crazy clothes and great music. So yeah, that was me at 23.
I hope you found that as interesting as I did. It's amazing the fascinating stories that people hold. We look at our elders and we'd never guess the interesting things that they got up to when they were younger, and Paula is no exception. So why 23? Well, on the 23rd of September, coming up in a few weeks, I'm going to be launching a 1-year memoir writing program called Write Your Memoir. If you're interested in joining, what it can do is take you through the entire process of writing the first draft of a really decent story. So a memoir, life story, or some kind of history. You'll get emailed lessons all the way through the year, and we meet once a month in Tākaka. If you're interested, just click on the link below and stay tuned for the next fascinating story about a Golden Bay local and what they got up to at 23.